What really happened between Taehyung and Jungkook? Was it just another fleeting moment caught on camera? Or is there something deeper that fans have been missing all along? Why do their interactions feel different lately? More intense, more layered, almost as if every glance carries a hidden meaning. Before you jump to conclusions, take a moment to think. What if everything we thought we knew was only half the story? If you've been following closely, you've probably noticed it too. The subtle shifts, the pauses, the moments that feel just a little too deliberate to be accidental. Could it be coincidence? Or are these repeated interactions actually clues pointing to something much bigger? Stay with this story until the end, because what you're about to uncover might completely change the way you see their relationship. And if you're as shocked as we were, don't forget to like, comment your thoughts and subscribe, because this is just the beginning of a story that's far from over. At first glance, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Taehyung and Jungkook, two global superstars who have spent years growing side by side, continued to share the same stage, the same space, and the same spotlight. Fans have always admired their chemistry, their bond, and the way they seem to understand each other without words. But recently, something felt different. Not broken, not distant, but changed, evolved, almost as if a new layer had been added to their dynamic. One that wasn't immediately visible, but impossible to ignore once noticed. It started with small moments. A glance that lingered just a second longer than usual. A reaction that seemed slightly delayed, as if there was hesitation behind it. Fans began compiling clips, comparing past interactions with recent ones, and asking the same question over and over again. Why does Taehyung's attitude toward Jungkook feel different now? Some initially believed it was tension. Others speculated about misunderstandings or unspoken conflicts. But as more moments surfaced, a different narrative began to take shape. What if this wasn't about distance at all? What if it was about something deeper? Something more emotional, more complex, and perhaps even more meaningful than anyone expected. One of the most talked about patterns was how Taehyung seemed to observe Jungkook more carefully than before. Not in a cold or distant way, but in a way that suggested awareness. Almost like he was paying attention to details others might overlook. Every time Jungkook spoke, Taehyung's expressions carried subtle shifts, small smiles, thoughtful looks, even moments of quiet reflection. These weren't dramatic changes, but they were consistent, repeated, noticeable. And that's when the conversation changed. Fans began asking, what if Taehyung isn't pulling away, but actually understanding Jungkook more deeply than ever before? This theory started gaining traction when people revisited older clips. Back then, their interactions were more carefree, spontaneous, almost playful in a way that reflected their youth. But now, there was a sense of maturity in the way they engaged with each other. Less impulsive, more intentional. Less about reacting, more about understanding. It's easy to misinterpret silence as distance. But what if, in this case, silence meant something else entirely? What if it represented comfort? A level of connection where words are no longer necessary? There were moments where Jungkook would say something lighthearted, and Taehyung's response would be unexpectedly subtle. Not dismissive, not cold, just different. And instead of laughing immediately or reacting loudly, he would pause, look at Jungkook, and then respond in a quieter, more thoughtful way. At first, this confused fans. But over time, it began to feel intentional. Could it be that Taehyung is simply seeing Jungkook in a new light? Another moment that caught attention involved a repeated pattern during public appearances. Jungkook would often take the lead in conversations or actions, while Taehyung followed with a more observant presence. But instead of overshadowing or being overshadowed, their dynamic felt balanced, almost like an unspoken understanding of roles that didn't need to be discussed. And that's where things became even more intriguing, because repetition doesn't happen by accident. When the same type of interaction occurs over and over again, it starts to form a pattern. And patterns tell stories. Fans noticed that whenever Jungkook seemed slightly unsure or hesitant, Taehyung would subtly shift his energy. Sometimes it was a small nod. Sometimes it was a reassuring glance. Sometimes it was nothing more than standing a little closer than usual. But every time, the message felt the same: awareness, support, presence. So was this really a change in attitude, or a deeper level of understanding? The emotional weight of this realization hit fans hard, because it challenged the initial assumption that something was wrong. Instead, it suggested that something might actually be stronger than ever. Of course, not everyone agreed. Some still believed there was tension beneath the surface. They pointed to moments where interactions seemed less energetic, less playful than before. They argued that something had clearly shifted, and not necessarily in a positive way. But even within those interpretations, there was one undeniable truth. Something had changed. And change doesn't always mean conflict. Sometimes it means growth. As artists evolve, so do their relationships. The way they communicate, the way they express themselves, the way they connect, it all changes over time. What once felt natural in the past may transform into something quieter, deeper, and more meaningful in the present. And perhaps that's exactly what we're witnessing here. A relationship that has moved beyond surface-level expressions into something more complex. Something that can't be easily captured in a single clip or explained in a single moment. There was also an emotional aspect that fans couldn't ignore. The way Taehyung looked at Jungkook during certain moments carried a sense of familiarity, almost like he understood something others didn't. And Jungkook's responses, though subtle, often mirrored that same energy. It wasn't loud. It wasn't obvious, but it was there. And sometimes, the quietest moments speak the loudest. The idea that this could all be coincidence started to fade as more evidence appeared. The repeated patterns, the consistent behaviors, the emotional undertones, they all pointed to something intentional, something real. But what exactly is it? That question remains unanswered. Because at the end of the day, only Taehyung and Jungkook truly know what lies behind their interactions. Everything else is interpretation, observation, speculation. And yet, that doesn't make it any less powerful. Because what fans are witnessing isn't just a series of moments. It's a story unfolding in real time. A story of growth, understanding, and connection that continues to evolve with every interaction. So the next time you see a clip, a glance, or a subtle exchange between them, ask yourself this. Are you seeing distance, or are you seeing depth? Because sometimes, what looks like change on the surface is actually something much deeper beneath. And maybe, just maybe, this isn't about something going wrong at all. Maybe it's about something finally being understood. And just when it seemed like fans had finally begun to piece everything together, another moment surfaced. One that didn't just add to the mystery, but completely reshaped it. It happened so quickly that many almost missed it. A brief interaction, barely a few seconds long, yet filled with a tension that felt different. Not negative, not uncomfortable, but charged with something that couldn't be easily explained. Jungkook said something quietly, almost under his breath, and Taehyung's reaction was immediate, but restrained. No dramatic response, no exaggerated expression. Just a look, a pause, and then, a subtle shift in his posture, as if he had understood something far deeper than the words themselves. Why did that moment feel so significant? This is where things begin to take an emotional turn. Because when fans replayed the clip over and over again, they started noticing something unusual. Taehyung didn't react like someone who was confused or caught off guard. Instead, he reacted like someone who already knew. Someone who had been expecting it. And that realization sent waves of speculation through the community. Could it be that these repeated interactions are not random at all, but part of a larger, ongoing understanding between them? The more you look at it, the harder it becomes to ignore. There have been multiple instances where Jungkook appears to test the atmosphere. Small gestures, quiet comments, subtle shifts in tone. And almost every time, Taehyung responds in a way that feels calibrated. Not automatic, not impulsive, but intentional.